Greetings and welcome to another installment of Pinball Stories. This is where we go into the behind the scenes, the provenance, how did you get this game, what's behind it. Because every pinball machine, in addition to having a lot of information and lore about the gameplay and who designed it, there's always a unique story behind every pinball machine and how it came into where it is, how it passed people's hands. Are there any fun and interesting stories? So this is a series where we talk about that, the story behind the acquisition of these games. And today I'm going to talk about Bally Hot Doggin. This is an 80s era wide body. It's one of the lesser known ones. Probably most people are familiar with Paragon. That's kind of the most desirable wide body, Paragon and Medusa. But there was a few other lesser known solid state wide bodies like Hot Doggin and Future Spa and others like that. And this is one of these obscure games that not a lot of people have seen and not a lot of people have played. It's just not out there. And it's absolutely beloved in our group, in our club. Everybody loves to play this. This is another game that is just one of the most fun, simple, really, really challenging games to play. It's great for competitions. Funny story about how I managed to get this game. This belonged to one of the members of our club who found it out in the garbage, believe it or not. This game he found out in the garbage. He was driving around one day and somebody put this out in the trash. And it had just started to rain and he was driving around, and I don't think he knew much about pinball, but he saw it out in the garbage. And he threw it in the back of his pickup truck and brought it home. And, typical of these Bally 35s, the MPU board had the battery bust and it was ruined. So it was not going to boot up and non-functional. But oftentimes, when you've got a situation like that, you just buy a new All-Tech MPU for about $175, throw it in here, and bam, you've got a working game. And I think that's basically what he did. He got the game back working. Now you'll see this one's got blue LEDs. I recently replaced all the original gas plasma displays and put LEDs in here, and there's actually a series of videos about that. So the funny story is this was found in the trash, rescued right before it was about to rain. And he had it in storage. When he joined our group, he's like, hey, I got this machine. You want to stick it in the club? And we're like, sure. So we put it in the club, not knowing much about it. And it turns out that it's just a tremendously fun game to play. Everybody loves it. So eventually, we knew that at some point he was going to want the game back. And nobody in the club wanted to get rid of it. So I said, well, look, let me buy this game from you. Let's work a deal. Because I know you don't really care that much about it. You're not that much into pinball, but let's work a deal. So I ended up trading a firearm for this gun. He was interested in some rifles that I had. So I traded an early Winchester model 1894 30-30 rifle, one of those kind of cowboy rifles, for the game. And, obviously, depending upon, it could be a good or a bad deal, but I think we both got a fair deal. I don't really even know what the going rate on these Hot Doggins are. I mean, I've seen them go just for a couple $100. They're like sleeper machines. Nobody really thinks much of them, but people that, we love it. And it's pretty rare when you see them come up anywhere. So that's kind of the story behind this game. It was found out in the trash, and then I traded a rifle for it to make sure that it permanently stayed here. And this is another one of those games that we'd never get rid of. It's just absolutely so much fun. It's hard to beat this game. It's got a lot of repeat playability. Meanwhile, the computer, the game next to it keeps rebooting. I'm going to have to work on that. So that's the story behind Hot Doggin, a really fun early 80s era Bally that was found out by the trash. I would love to know more about, why it was thrown into the trash and where it came from beyond that, but that's all we have. I don't really see any operator stickers on it or anything like that, but this thing was obviously, operated. The back glass is pretty good. There's obviously a little bit of flaking down here, you can see. But again, this game is pretty much all original. We haven't really done a whole lot to it. put LEDs in the back glass and made it look a little bit nicer, and replace the displays. I am going to get down here and work on this play field because there's a few lights out that now. But this is one of those games that's just been a workhorse, and really we don't do a whole lot to it. It just plays and plays and plays, and everybody loves it. So there you have it. Another story of the story behind the game. For more, visit PinballHelp.com, and you can see Twitter/PinballHelp, Instagram. Is there an Instagram? I don't know if there is, but Instagram is probably Mystic Crew, MYSTICKREWE. And that's it. Thanks for watching.